Hi, this is Aaron Nola, and welcome to the Phillies Show.
Hi, everybody. The Philly Show with Ruben Amaro Jr., Jim Salisbury, Todd Zolecki. It is Monday, April 28th, 2025. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Good. Nice weekend.
Ruben's got, what do you got there, Ruben? A little, looks like almost like a cappuccino.
Mocha coffee, man. Lori makes me some sweet mocha coffee in the morning. It's ridiculous. Mocha pots. Cuban coffee, mocha pots, ridiculous.
Are you getting your caffeine on because you got a big day?
Big slug ball day today with you folks. You guys going to join me?
Yes, we're going to Trenton. We're going to go to Trenton, and we're going to participate in some slug ball action. I'm looking forward to it. Now, Ruben, I have not swung a bat since probably Milt Thompson threw us batting practice one spring, maybe I guess it's probably 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
In Clearwater.
I haven't swung a bat in a long time either. I did. And I'm going to go early to have my brother throw me a little BP so I can just take some swings.
Oh, is that an option?
If you want to come, you can give me a break. Yeah, come early. I'm going to meet my brother like 9
at the stadium.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll probably embarrass myself, but that's okay.
It's all right. I'm going to embarrass myself too. I'm a ex-professional athlete.
But that's today, and then of course Slug Ball's going to be in a few parks this summer throughout the country. So yep. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
See how it goes.
My embarrassment aside, it's going to be fun. Well, the Phillies had a good weekend for sure. They lose on Friday, so that the losing streak goes to 5 straight games. Oof. And we were talking on Thursday's episode. We really dug into everything that was going wrong with this team. And then we had Mark DeRosa on Friday, which, by the way, if you haven't listened to Mark DeRosa episode on Friday, that was great. That was really, really good. He's put a lot of good things in perspective. I loved what he had to say about 40 games into the season, Bobby Cox coming into the clubhouse going, all right, I let you guys get loose. Now it's time to turn it on. So Phillies are 28 games into the season right now, but they win Saturday. They scored 6 runs, and I think it was the 4th inning or something like that. They won 10-4, and then Aaron Nola on Sunday Night Baseball allows 1 run in 7 innings. They win in extra innings, 3-1. Guys, what jumped out? How big was this weekend for the Phillies? Sounds stupid, but how big was this weekend just to kind of get off the schneid?
Very big. Muy grande, just because we talk about it all the time. Winning series is so important. And they won a series. Not only did they win a series, they stopped the bleeding and maybe put a little tourniquet on some of the panic we're hearing in the public here. Because, I know people hate to hear this, but it is still early. So you come out of Chicago with a series win, and you get an off day to reflect on it, and then you get your ace on the mound Tuesday night at home against the team you should annihilate, or at least the team you should win another series against, the Washington Nationals. So I thought it was really big. It was really big, and the way you did it Sunday night with a guy you really need to pitch well, Aaron Nola, doing just that, pitching really well, coming out of there with a confidence booster. So all in all, in my opinion, a very good weekend.
Yeah, to me, it's a solid weekend, especially when you finish the way they finished. Nice flight back home, little breather. But I think more importantly, they need to start getting some of their mojo back, and that's important. It means a lot in the clubhouse when you start doing things well, and you're getting production out of the people that you're counting on. And that was important. And they did it against a team that's been hot, that's been playing good baseball and playing very well at home. There's some elements to deal with. Even though Aaron Nola's stuff was down, his stuff was good. He was very pinpoint with his stuff. So anyway, it was good to see some of the things that they were doing. And it's good to see them bust out a little bit offensively to get things rolling. And they still haven't. Some of their big boys haven't really done a lot. So
that's huge. Some of their big boys are still really struggling. You look at the last couple of weeks; they're all hitting 170. they're treading water without their big guys getting hot, which I still think the big boys are going to get hot.
Oh, yeah.
So that could be a good sign that they're at least surviving.
Yeah, Jim, I remember on Thursday you said that of all the concerns we talked about, the rotation, the bullpen, of course, Nola, Sanchez, you said the offense is a concern, but that's probably last on your list in terms of concerns because you thought that I think we all kind of think they're going to start up the numbers in the back of their baseball cards, so to speak.
But I still think they're going to be up and down. I think their highs are going to be
right.
Something to behold, and their lows are going to really frustrate you. But I think their highs are going to get them enough offense where they need to be. You need that pitching starting staff to continue to do, what it's basically done throughout this early part of the season. And you need the bullpen to look like it did last night, Sunday night in Wrigley Field. Bullpen was really good. And then, as we've said many times, and we're getting ahead of ourselves, probably they're going to need an addition out there as well.
Yeah, no doubt. If you like the Phillies show, you can get a Phillies show t-shirt at thephilliesshow.com. When we come back, we're going to really get into Aaron Nola and a few other things that happened this weekend.
If you want a razor that looks good, makes you look good, gets the shave done, and doesn't cost much,
Oh.
Is it nice?
That's a hairy John. And you can smell it too. Smell that, John. Smell it.
Oh, wow. What
is
See,
that?
that's Harry's. That's the shave gel. I'm telling you, look. I mean,
you look scary, man.
It's the shot.
Fresh.
Now come in, get this.
I don't want to touch this head anymore. Oh, my God.
That looks like German-engineered blades made in their own factory that stay sharp longer.
I'm using the razor, and it does not – you can start to feel when it
Yeah.
gets dull. I mean, you guys only do like here and like up here.
True.
I'm doing acreage. Get the edge on your shave with Harry's. Normally their trial set is $10, but right now you can get it for just $6 at harrys.com/foul. That's our exclusive link, harrys.com/foul for a $6 trial set.
We are back. Aaron Nola, guys, Sunday night, he goes into the game 0-5 with a 6.43 ERA. Everybody's freaking out about it. And if you're not freaking out about it, you're concerned, as we were, because he's Aaron Nola and he's 0-5 with a 6.43 ERA. But Sunday night against the Cubs, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 99 pitches, 73 strikes. And so I saw that strikes number. I go, that's a lot of strikes. That's a lot of strikes. And it was his highest strike percentage in a game since July 4th, 2023. So he was filling up the strike zone, getting a lot of strikes. His fastball, 4-seam fastball, averaged 91.8 miles an hour, down from last year, but up from what it was in his first 5 starts. So it started to creep up a little bit, almost a full mile an hour. He got a season high 16 swings and misses. And really just what everybody wanted to see.
No doubt. I was encouraged that you mentioned, his stuff was up. Everything was up, not necessarily compared to last year, but compared to his first 5 starts. So things are trending in the right direction. I would still label him a concern. One good game does not signal a turnaround for me, but it can certainly be the start of something. He was, when you look at the strikeouts, he was down in the zone with excellent movement on the changeup, excellent movement on the breaking ball, down. He threw some really good cutters. And 16 swing and misses is nothing to nice little telltale that the stuff is up and the stuff is, giving guys trouble. So I was really encouraged and like to see him put another one, back to back. Just very impressive character that he doesn't panic. He's kept it together and delivered a big ball game on a big stage for that team last night. So it has to be a confidence builder.
So I look at trends, and I'll be honest with you. He wasn't nearly as sharp in the New York series, in the New York game, but he came in. He actually had Topper taking him out in the 6th inning, and they had a full complement and more confidence in the bullpen at the time. At the time, he probably would not have gone out for the 7th.
Sure.
And Topper pushed him because he was short in his bullpen, and he was short in a couple of different ways. And then he backed it up with this, and I see a trend of him getting better and better. He did make 2 mistakes, 2 or 3 mistakes, big mistakes. One, it didn't cost him because it was a foul ball in the Mets game. But you saw the sharpness starting to come back. And while he wasn't nearly as sharp as he was on Sunday night, I felt like he's starting to trend forward. And that's really important for Aaron Nola, that he's not trending backwards, because that's when you feel that the bullets are starting to run out. And I don't think the bullets are running out yet. At least my observation of what I saw last night was a cold night. Again, there was weather involved, but I think it's just him building innings and building his arm strength and stuff like that. For whatever reason, it's taken him a little while to get going, but he was really crisp with his stuff. The ball was coming out of his hand well. I don't get as concerned about velocities as I do about the swings that guys are taking against you and the actual life in the strike zone. And what I saw finish. I saw, especially with his breaking ball, I saw a good changeup, good arm speed on his changeup. And you said it, Jim, that cutter, when you have finish, when you have movement in the zone, that's when you know you have finish on your pitches, and you're letting it go, and you're confident about the fact that the guy has the right stuff. So I was I'm feeling good about his progression, and hopefully that'll continue
against a good lineup. That was a good Cubs lineup, and
that's a good Cubs lineup.
He's going to face another good lineup in Arizona in his next start.
He sure is
at Citizens Bank Park,
and one that's going to be aggressive as well.
Yeah,
both of you guys mentioned his cutter, and they were talking a lot about his cutter. I can't remember the at bat last night. I feel like it was maybe Dansby Swanson. He threw like back-to-back cutters maybe off the plate, and Dansby chased both of them. I believe it was Dansby Swanson. If not, I apologize. But he had 6 swings and misses on his cutter last night, Sunday night, and that was one off his career high in his entire career, swings and misses off the cutter. So he had a really good cutter going. And I don't know if you guys caught this. Eduardo Perez, I believe, said during the broadcast that he had talked to some people and thought maybe Aaron Nola was getting too predictable in the amount of curveballs he's been throwing. He's been throwing a ton, and he threw a little bit less than he had in his previous 2 starts. His previous 2 starts, he was like 35% curveballs, almost 40% curveballs in his last 2 starts, and it was under 30 on Sunday night. So maybe something there with the cutter being a little bit more effective.
The most important thing about Aaron is that if stuff is down a notch, and people have seen him so many years and so many times and so many multiples of times, that he may have to change his patterns, may have to change his overall pitch mix. And, he's going to have to get sharper in another pitch. I mean, he can't just go with his sinker and his breaking ball. He's going to have to have, he's going to have to have quality with his off-speed stuff, meaning his changeup and his cutter. Those 2 pitches have to be real pitches for him to be effective, because he needs something to take him off the 2 pitches that he utilizes the most, which is his sinker and his breaking ball.
So if Eduardo Perez is saying that, that he was becoming too predictable with the breaking ball, he heard that out of the Phillies clubhouse. Somebody with the Phillies staff told him that.
Maybe.
I'm sure. And that's the way they're feeling in the inner sanctum. So you know what? They made an adjustment, and he found some success with it. But he's going to need a full mix of pitches in good spots. He's going to really. We always call Aaron Nola more pitcher than thrower. He's a true pitcher. He's going to have to even become more of a pitcher. He's going to have to really have a full repertoire, put it in good spots. And I say still, I know guys in this era, they like to come up in the zone, but he's a guy who has to make his living, to me, at the knees with an occasional, hunt a strikeout up top. But really good performance last night.
Totally agree. And I think about Nola, and I talked about this before, but I feel like he's at the end of his career. He's going to have to be Zach Greinke. He's going to have to be Jim Big Game Shields. He's going to be that guy. He's going to have to be able to mix up pitches in a different way, in different patterns, and exploit weaknesses and do those sorts of things to have success. And listen, if he can roll off 6 solid innings, then he's done his job, especially at this point in his career where he's, 10 or 11 years into his career, and he's all the bullets that he's fired.
Totally agree. Speaking of something else that the broadcast crew heard maybe before the game in the clubhouse, when Jordan Romano goes out for the 10th inning, I believe it was Eduardo Perez says, he's been really struggling. We know this. We've talked about it.
Right.
But he said Rob Thompson thinks that he might have been tipping his pitches or was tipping his pitches, which is
Ruben has said that. Ruben has said that several times.
100%. Yeah, we've talked about that. Him tipping his pitches, and then he goes out, Jordan Romano, in the 10th inning and throws a nice clean inning. And man, I could not help but think how big as it was for Aaron Nola to go out on Sunday night and pitch well against the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Man, was it big for Jordan Romano to go out there and pitch a scoreless inning in the 10th in a game that would help you win a series, because he has been so bad this season. And I just think that must be a huge confidence boost for him, especially coming off the game he had in the series finale against the Mets last week.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Gotta be. And the fact that Rob went to him,
that's
big.
What I thought the same thing. I'm like, here we go. Everybody's if he spits this up, man, he's going to be third, fourth, fifth guest. But Romano got the job done. Ruben,
That's what I believe. That's why I believe Rob Thompson, and I guess he's taking a lot of heat out there publicly. That's why I believe Rob Thompson is the best manager in baseball, because he tries to breed confidence in players even when they're not confident. It's pretty clear that Jordan Romano didn't know what the hell he was doing, like what the hell's going on. And for him to put him in that situation and allow him to thrive, I think that's what separates he from other guys. It'd be so easy for me to just say, you know what? If I was a manager, this guy can't get anybody out. He has no, I'm not putting him in a game. Well, he understands the psyche of a player. He understands the fact that they need him. They're going to have him. They need this man to be good.
They do.
And how do I make this guy good? I got to give him the confidence to give him opportunities to get there. And the whole tipping pitches thing, I think it's real. I think the other part of it was, I think his mechanics were effed up early in the season, and that's why he was struggling. So it was a combination of him getting his footing in Philadelphia, his mechanics being screwed up, tipping pitches. He had all types of these things working against him for whatever reason. He's coming back from injury. He hadn't been pitching. There's a lot of things going on. Maybe he didn't get enough reps, or they were being careful with him in spring training. He needs to be good. And I also will say this, and I believe this in my heart of hearts. It puts Rob Thompson in a tough position because of this. He's going to have to pitch important innings. And the fact that he has to pitch important innings may have to push him in the 9th, 8th, and 9th, because hitters get tense. And his deception, all the things that he does, his antics on the field, I think it screws up the hitter a little bit. And in the 9th, as opposed to the 8th, I think it creates more angst to the hitter. And you saw lots of swings and misses, man. They were missing pitches that other teams had been hitting. And so for whatever reason, whether they didn't know what was coming or whether it was, anxiety of the hitter, you may have to put him in those tight situations, because he's the type of pitcher who sort of thrives off of that, whether it's him on the mound or it's the hitter. He needs to be in the tight, I think, for him to feel comfortable, which is weird. But there's a lot of guys who are, born to pitch in the 9th, 8th, and 9th, especially the 9th. And so Alvarado's really their closer. He's their best guy. There's no question about it. So it puts Rob Thompson in a tough position. Hopefully the next time he comes in, he can pitch in the 8th and he pitches well. And when there's not as much angst on the hitter, just a thought that I had.
And Alvarado and Kirkman were both good Sunday night.
That was good. Yeah, Kirkman needs to be that good. He needs to be able to throw that sinker. You talked about it before, Jim. He's got to be effective with that sinker. He's got to be able to throw the ball both ways, sink it and slide it.
That's why Romano was in the 10th, because they used those two guys. But he got an opportunity in a tight spot.
10th. I said 9th, but I said 10th. I meant in a safe situation.
Yeah, he would run around second base. That's tough. That's tough. I mean, I detest the run around second base thing, because to me, the game is all about we pay the game's all about you get in the batter's box. How can I get to first base? For a pitcher, how can I prevent this guy from getting to first base? And they pay guys big money to get to first base a lot, and they pay guys big money to prevent guys from getting to first base. Now I'm going to take you the hardest thing one of the hardest things in the game, getting to first base, and I'm going to drop you right on second base. I mean, it's not baseball, but it does get you out of there earlier. So in some ways, I do like it.
For us folks, the broadcasters and media guys, it's great. Move that game along.
I enjoy it.
Oh, it gets you out of there earlier. You don't have a 14-inning game. Remember? Oh my God! But
see that's the thing. People
the game they'd be using it in the playoffs too, and they're not doing that.
Yeah,
right.
That would be terrible. But
I always have people say like, "Well, when you're not going to get that Wilson Valdez pitches a scoreless 18th inning game anymore." I'm like, okay, that happens. A cool moment like that, a fun, silly moment like that happens once every 8,000 extra inning games. The other, how many just go on and on. So I'm a fan.
I'll never forget that game. Talking to Wilson the next day. He said I think his wife was with his mother, or his wife called his mother and says, "Wilson is pitching."
So can I just say something about this? And this is a broader picture. We could talk about this forever, but I think it sort of helps perpetuate. I think the reason why they had to do this is because people were running out of pitching. Well, you don't run out of pitching if you don't have your pitchers throw as hard as they possibly can every single pitch and spin it as hard as you can. And you develop players who can pitch and throw strikes and get outs in a different way in the bullpen. And so we built guys with velocity and spin that are breaking and not able to recover. So that's the reason why you don't have enough pitching. You literally have 13 pitchers. In my day, they had 9 pitchers.
I know, it's unbelievable.
They had 4 starters and 5 relievers.
I mean,
and
now
so we've developed, I think the game of baseball has developed players who just can't pitch enough. And, we put ourselves in a position to have to put a guy at second base because of it. That's the reason.
Yeah, now you couldn't even, gosh, if a game went 15, 16 innings for the Phillies, you wonder, like, how the heck could they possibly piece that together? They just don't
but when that happens, like, it started because of COVID. They didn't want people hanging around the ballparks and guys hanging around the clubhouses for 14 innings. But when you do have that 14 inning and you deplete your bullpen, to me, that becomes a test of your entire organization. You're going to have to make a move the next day. Your front office is going to be on top of it. You're going to have to get a pitcher there. It's a test of your traveling secretary. Can you get a guy into town? It's a test of your minor league depth, of the pitching depth you have built. So, I still think, it helps measure an organization when you deplete. Okay, how strong are you? How can you react? How can you adjust
starters to go further into the game?
Are you resilient? Can you recover from a 14-inning game on a Wednesday night and still have enough pitching for the weekend? It's a real test of your entire organization. That said, being around there for 14 innings in the press box does suck. So there's part of me that likes it.
You know what sucks? What doesn't suck, though, is when it is an extra inning game and they deliver pizza to the press box.
Yeah, baby.
Speaking of pizza to the press box, it is our first episode of the week. It's time for Manco. Manco and Manco best week. Manco and Manco best week, because Manco is the best of the best. Is where we pick our best Phillies performance, play, moment of the week. It was a little slim pickings. Going into after Friday night's game, I'm sitting there going, what are we going to do? They don't get a couple wins going this weekend for Manco and Manco best week. Who wants to get the ball rolling here?
Ruben, you bet lead off today.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Aaron Nola. I'm going to go with the hot, because I think he threw 2 pretty good games, and especially bouncing back against a tough Chicago team. We've talked about it a lot. There's some other guys maybe to pick who started swinging the bats a little bit, but and I'll let maybe you guys pick some other guys. But I think it was important for him to step forward, and so I'm going to go with my man Aaron Nola and be a front runner, because I didn't draft him, but Marty Wolver drafted him.
You drafted him. You guys all drafted. It's a team effort.
Yeah. You could have put the kibosh on that one, but you made the right call. Yeah, so that's a great one. Obviously, Aaron Nola was tremendous. I'm going to go a little outside the box here because I loved what he said about it after the game. I'm going to go with Max Kepler. And why are you saying why Max Kepler for Manco best week? Well, Max Kepler, he homered. He hit the Phillies' only homer of the weekend, but he also had a little bloop single that got the Phillies 6-run inning going on Saturday in their 10-4 win over the Cubs. And afterward, he said something I have not seen in print in a while. He said, me and JT had some duck fart knocks, and then we opened it up. So as a reporter, I always appreciate a good, colorful quote. And a good performance by Max shows what you can do when you just put the bat on the ball and you get a little bit of luck. You know, I think a lot of people were thinking that the Phillies might get out of that little funk they were in by hitting a couple bombs at Wrigley Field. But no, it was a couple duck fart knocks on Saturday to help them to a much needed win. So my Manco best week, the duck farts in Saturday's win.
Yeah, and I will say something about JT as well. That poor guy, he really has hit some screamers at some people of late, and he really needed it. I mean, he has not had the greatest start to the season, but he's hit some balls on the screws over the last couple of weeks, man. A little like what Bone was going through a little bit earlier, but it's nice to see him flip a couple in there.
Yeah, I think it was Wednesday. It was. I keep saying Thursday they played the Mets, but it was Wednesday. But yeah, I think that Wednesday game, Ruben. Yeah, JT hit a couple rockets.
It's 3 or 4 line drives.
Over 100 miles an hour, and they were all caught. Yeah, he must have been ready to bash his head into the wall.
I like what you said. You know, that inning. I like what you said. Shows what can happen when you put the bat on the ball. They just, they found some holes. They hit, but a lot of singles. They count, especially with runners on base. They strung together a really good inning, and none of us has picked. And I'm not picking him either, but just a hat tip to Jesus Luzardo. They're 4-2 in his starts. He's got a sub-2 ERA.
I figured I'd mix it up because I've been picking him the last 2 weeks.
And I'm mixing it up too. I'm not picking him. I come to expect that from him.
Nice.
Yeah, really.
I am. I'm going to go down on the farm, and
right.
I'm going to pick Justin Crawford. What a week he had! Hit 400. He had like 4 multi-hit games, smacking a lot of doubles around the patch. So he's my guy. I thought he had a nice week down there, and just trying
to bring him to the big leagues, Jim. Is he ready?
I'm not doing that. No, I like the fact that he's having some success where he is, and I think he needs some time there. But I'd certainly take the success over not having the success. It looks like he's swinging it pretty good, but our focus obviously the big league team. But we think maybe later on in 2025 or 26, he could be an important guy here. So keeping a half an eyeball on him, and he had a really nice week. So he's. I give him a slice of the Manco pie, which I'm going to feature one on Tuesday night at Citizens Bank Park.
Good for you. Hey, I just want to say one thing. You said about that infield hit by Trey Turner with their Muhan, I guess, backing up on the ball.
Yes.
That was a big hit. That might have been the biggest hit of the weekend, just because it gave Romano some breathing room, got that second run in. You always want to try to score 2 runs in that situation in extra innings if you're the lead team.
That second run is huge in extra innings.
It's gigantic, especially for the away team. And so for him to bust it down the line and to beat that play out, that was large. And a little bit of a mental mistake by the third baseman, but we'll take it if you're a Philly fan. And I just wanted to mention that as well.
Yeah, that was a huge play, and he was flying down the line too. I looked up his sprint speed. I think it was like 31.4. That was his fastest recorded sprint speed of the season. Just on that.
He knew how important it was.
Oh yeah, he was flying. He found that extra gear. Trey Turner did. So all right, that was great. That was Manco best week. Let's a couple other things real quick, and then before we go, Ranger Suarez threw 4 1/3 innings on Sunday for AAA Lehigh Valley. Gave up a run, 2 walks, struck out 8, The Phillies have not announced what will happen next, but his next start could be in the big leagues. Now, Rob Thompson says he wants him to get to 90, 95 pitches before that. So I guess they could bring him back or have him make one more rehab start. But that's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now, Christopher Sanchez threw a bullpen on Sunday and apparently felt okay. So I really can't wait to see how this all shakes out. You have Sanchez seems to be okay. They seem to have dodged a bullet, we think. Suarez seems to be ready to come back. Taijuan Walker has thrown the ball really well in 5 starts. He's done a great job. How are they going to handle this? I don't know, but they have some decisions to make in the next week in terms of how they set up the rotation. They have nothing set. They have not announced any plans beyond Tuesday starter, Jim, as you said at the top of the show, which is Zach Wheeler on Tuesday night. So I don't know. Do you have any predictions?
The drama continues. I mean, because somebody's going to have to get knocked off the roster once Suarez gets here. It's going to be either Hernandez or perhaps Ruiz. And it will be interesting to see who gets knocked off because they're going to probably going to either piggyback, utilize. I think that they're probably going to end up piggybacking Taijuan Walker with either Suarez or Sanchez or maybe both somehow. And I don't know how they're going to work that out, but that's what it seems like they probably will do. I'm just, speaking out of the air right now, just as an observer, and it will be really interesting to see where they go. It's one of the things that I loved about being a GM is putting a jigsaw puzzle together.
Yeah,
I know that typically they have things work themselves out,
Right.
but sometimes they don't, and you have to make some roster moves to work around it and some decisions. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Good problem to have.
Oh, yeah.
The better you're going to be.
It's
And,
saying that right now.
This might be a few days premature because we don't know if Ranger's coming back, but this is a big, big storyline, how this guy pitches. It's a big storyline for the 2025 Phillies, and it's a big storyline for Ranger Suarez and his future as he reaches free agency after this season. It would be really great if it could be a win-win situation for both, and he pitched great.
I hope he pitches great and makes a ton of money.
That would be great for everybody. Well, yeah, for everybody on that roster.
And healthy.
Big storyline.
Yes, 100%. Guys, I will see you later today.
Let's go.
Monday.
We're gonna
do a little slug ball event in Trenton.
A little situational hitting, baby.
Ooh.
Handle that bat head.
I'm just trying to make contact, Ruben. Let's be honest.
Let's go. Just try to touch it.
Are there points for contact?
There are not.
Then I will suck.
Okay.
But I'm looking
Put yourself
forward to
out there, Todd.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it a shot. So guys,
give it the old college try.
Yes, I will. So that was fun, guys. I will see you later this week. If you like the Phillies show, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Talk to you guys later.
Smell you later, boys.
Smell you, Jim.
The Philly Show is brought to you by the Foul Territory Network. Subscribe to The Philly Show on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. If you like us, give us a review. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, and Threads. Find Ruben's analysis before, during, and after Phillies games on NBC Sports Philadelphia, on the Sports Radio 94 WIP Morning Show, and MLB Network. Find Jim at allphly.com. Find me at MLB.com, the Phillies Beat newsletter, and MLB Network.